So hello everyone. The tip for today is it important to do an off-court warm-up? So in tennis, usually we do some type of off-court warm-up before we go on and actually start warming up on the court. So is it important? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a few things as to, first, what is the reason for doing it? Is there really a reason for actually doing that before we get on the court? So basically, the purpose of it is to actually get the body ready to play, right? So if you think of it this way, if you're cold, would you go run a 100-yard sprint? Probably not. Okay, if you did, you'd probably get injured. So basically, because we're going in a state from not doing the activity to doing the activity, we need to warm up the body. And as we get older, that's even more important. But even as a young player, you should get in the habit of doing it, because this also helps you to work on your coordination skills and your footwork, improving it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the elements first of the off-court warm-up. So basically, in an off-court warm-up, we should have some coordination skills. It should be a full body workout. So it's not just working on the legs or just working on the arms. It should be a full body workout. So using the core, lower body, upper body. Okay, and in the past, a lot had done what we called static stretches. And now we actually do more of a dynamic warm-up. And the reason is, again, there were a lot of injuries going on, and when they started to do more research into players and why they were getting injured, many times doing these static stretches, again, the body is cold and now you're extending and stretching something that's really not warm enough. So if you do that and then you go on the court, it's easy to overextend something and to get injured. So the recommendation now is the static stretches should be done at the end of your warm-up, after you've done your cool down. Okay, we were going to talk a little bit about that at the end of the session here. So elements we're looking for in a off-court warm-up are coordination skills, working the full body, also doing some balancing work, because in the sport we need good balance, and of course dynamic footwork movement, right? Change of direction quickly, stop, recover quickly. So I have two examples we're going to look at. So these are two of the top players in the game and their off-court warm-up. All right, so we're going to kind of take a look at what they do, and then we're look at are they doing those elements in their off-court warm-up. So the first one I've chosen is Roger Federer. So we're going to go to his. I just need to find it here. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so this is Roger Federer's warm-up. Now, at this point, this is a workout he's doing before he actually goes on the court to practice. And he mentions in this, like before it got to this point, that he actually does his core workout before he comes to the court. So he's already done that part of his workout. So this is more of the coordination skills end, and again, just warming up the whole body. So here we go. So let's take a look at Roger. Now, his fitness coach he's been working with for about 20 years, and he mentions in this that actually they speak French when they're doing this, when they're working together, because that's his coach's first language. But he also does, he speaks German very well as well. So you notice the coordination skills here, and he's not just standing there catching the ball. So you notice the movement. Okay, so good hand-eye coordination and moving the feet. All right. So it's not the same thing over and over, change of direction. You can obviously tell they do this a lot. It's like juggling to each other. Okay, so now he's back to jogging. Okay, so he does a bit of a jog. And now he's going to do some skipping, but watch his skipping because it's working on that stutter step. You see that, right? So it's more working on that. It's not just about regular skipping. So 1, 2, and then he skips. Okay, and then he's going to do some more work with the ball, some more coordination skills here. Good hands, working on the hands and movement as well. So changing directions, keeping the feet moving. So he's simulating a lot of what he does when he plays the game, which again, a good off-court warm-up is that. It's trying to simulate what you actually do when you're playing the sport. The more you can do that, the better your off-court warm-up's going to be. Okay, so now notice here he's going to use the bend. And again, so it's a lunge and extend. So working the arms and the legs, okay, from that good ready position. All right, he does a little bit of that. Now he's going to use the soccer ball. So you notice, again, it's working on the shoulder turn. So this is good for both your ground strokes and your volley. Again, working with the footwork as well. He's not standing still hitting it, so he's moving. Okay. A little bit of a break here. So he's walking, though. He's not standing there, right? You notice that he's walking. So still moving. Okay. Let's see what he does next here. Okay, so again, so notice, here we go, balance. So he's doing this on the 1 foot. And there is that 1-footed hop that we use in tennis now a lot. So this is actually really good warm up to get used to using that shot, because again, it is explosive off that 1 foot. So good coordination drill with the hands, but also good balance as well. Now he's going to go back to jogging. Okay. So let's see what he does now. So a little bit of lunges here, right? So forward and to the side, forward to the side, same thing. So there should be some kind of lunging in your off-court warm-up. So again, those key things is using the whole body. So you see now he's going over his head with this. Okay, and sometimes he's letting it bounce, sometimes he's taking it in the air, but it's a forward and then backward motion. Okay, just taking a bit of a walk here. Let's see what he does next. So again, still moving. Okay. So what he does now. All right. So he's got, he's gonna. Okay, so explosive movements here to the side and then around, right? A couple of those. And then he's doing the same thing. You notice the footwork? 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, then he skips. 1, 2, then he skips. So again, you know, working on that split step. Okay, and then he's back to the rope. And he's going to go low this time. So see, working on that low ready position while skipping. Excellent. This is like really good. Okay. So again, working on that ready position. You're not standing up. You should be low. And then he's back to jogging. So we've seen the jogging, a little bit of walking in this. We've seen some lunge work, hand-eye coordination. So he's going to turn and then back, right? And then he's going to go to the other side now, I believe. He starts, turns, and then comes back. Okay. So good shoulder turn and working on the footwork. So now he's back to jogging. Okay, so he's going to work with the band again. So again, working the full body there from that low, good athletic position. And now notice with the ball, it's just one hand. So he's working on both sides of the body with the one hand, a one-hand catch and send. So again, good work. This is excellent for the hands, working on good hands. Now it's back to jogging. Okay. All right, so he's going to go back to the tennis balls again. So big step, see that? Excellent, okay. So more explosive and long steps. And he goes with a sprint. All right, and then I believe now he's going to do some work with the ball here again. Okay, so again. So sometimes the coach is going to say, you know, bounce. So he's going to let bounce. Other times it's in the air. So again, this is simulating what happens in tennis, depending on the shot. Sometimes we would take it in the air. Other times we let it bounce. So it's they're working on that decision making and movement. All right, so that's Roger Federer's off-court warm-up. So the next one we're going to look at. Oh, I've got this situation again. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so we're going to look at Nadal now. So actually, the situation with Nadal here is this is his off-court warm-up before he goes on to play a match. So a little bit different situation, but I want you to notice a little bit different routine, but same elements. Okay, where do we go? Okay. Sorry. So we stopped that one. We're gonna go now to Nadal. So let's see. So we got Nadal here. All right, so we're just waiting for this to get set up. I don't know why it's not responding. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try this again because we're having trouble getting this to come up. You can tell like he's very focused when he does his off-court warm-up. So, you know, it's not something you should, you know, take lightly. Like it is an important part of your training and getting prepared to play. So is not something that should be taken lightly, because doing this will be, if you get in a good habit of doing this, you probably won't wind up with many injuries as what you would if you're not doing this warm up. Okay, it's asking a lot of your body to just go straight from cold to, very explosive play. So again, you notice he's got the wall sit. So now he does a lot of this work as well. Okay, so rotator cuff problems are big time in tennis because we use it so much. So he does a lot of this work with the band on both sides. So you've noticed with both these players that we've looked at, they use band work. Okay, this is a good idea to get a band that you can work with and work on that rotator cuff. So he's not just working on the legs here, even though he's done the footwork in that, he's working on the arms as well. He's going to go back on the wall for another 45 seconds. Okay. So you look at his face, he's very focused on what he's doing. He's not goofing around, taking it lightly. Like this is, that's one thing with Nadal in his training. Like it's very regimented and he's very focused when he is training. Okay, whether it just be this off-court warm-up or, his warm-up on court, which he's probably one of the best players for mental strength, being mentally strong out there, no matter what the situation is. So, that's probably attributed to the way that he, trains. Okay, so now we do some more band work here. Okay, I'm having issues with this again, really. Oh, don't know what's going on with this internet. I keep losing this internet signal. Come on. And you'll notice the length of these, like, Federer's was just about 10 minutes. And if we look at Nadal's is going to be close to 10 minutes as well. Okay, so here we go. So he's going to do a little bit more work here. See? A little more work with the band. Okay. And then he's going to go back on the wall for 45 seconds. So again, good focus. So notice, again, with both these players, there's some balance work in there. They work on footwork, explosive movements, little shuffle movements with the feet as well, working on the legs, the arms, okay? Nadal does a lot of the wall sits. Wall sits are great for this. When you're doing the warm-up like this, wouldn't suggest going for a long time. Like if we're doing it for training to build the legs, it's different. You would do that in a different part of your practice. Okay, so now this is interesting. So what he does is he does some shadow stroking, but his shadow stroking is with a little bit of movement. And if you notice this, he gets sets, he does 5 on the forehand, and he does 5 shadow stroking on the backhand. Okay, with the footwork movement, see? Up and back, so movement. There you go. Okay, so he's going to walk. Again, a little bit of footwork. Okay. and he's going to go back on the wall. So he does a little bit of the dynamic, like the footwork movement. He works on the rotator cuff work with the band, and he's back on the wall. So 45 seconds on this wall. So different routines, but they all have the same characteristics, right? Both of these players that you see are working on full body. It's a full body workout. They've both worked on some balance. They've both worked on not just, slow movements, but quick movements, wider stance, and he's done. So that's his off-court warm-up right there. Okay, so I'm going to stop the sharing. Okay, so again, two different type of players, but same characteristics in their off-court warm-up. Coordination skills, balance, and movement, footwork movement, okay? You'll notice both of them use the bands, right? Federer worked a little bit on those little stutter steps or split steps with just the small movements on the balls of his feet. With the skipping, he worked on staying low with the skipping in that good ready position. Nadal used the wall sits for that. So really important, you like I said, you want to simulate what you actually do in the sport you're playing. So the more you can do that in your off-court warm-up, the better your off-court warm-up is going to be. And you're going to be in better shape when you get on the court or get on your field, whatever you're playing. All right, so is an off-court warm-up important? As you can see, very important to the pros. Should be in your routine as well, young or old. If you're older, you better, because injuries are higher risk when we get older and we're playing. So just make sure we're doing both. If you've got the time, 10-minute warm-up is good, but you can, if you don't have as much time, if you're a little bit rushed, 5-minute warm-ups is fine as well. But either one that you're using, you need to have, you're using the full body. So not just legs, not just arms. It should be using your core, your lower body, your upper body. You're going to include coordination skills in that. You're going to include balance, and you're going to do some footwork. Okay, so the tip of the week is that do your off-court warm-up before you go on and start hitting the ball. All right, so I'll see everyone next Monday. Have a good week and stay safe.